Right. Hello and welcome back to the Indie Room. We've been on a bit of a hiatus recently, but I'm back and I'm privileged to be sitting here with Luke, who's the lead singer of Otherkin from Dublin. How are you doing?
Not too bad, how are you?
I'm alright, thank you very much. First off, tonight's gig in Birmingham is the last of this 5-day tour that you've just been on.
Mm-hmm.
How are you feeling about tonight? Are you excited for it?
Yeah, it's going to be really cool. Yeah, like every time we play in Birmingham, it just seems to get crazier and crazier every time we come back.
Yeah.
And tonight, I think it's our first kind of sold out show in Birmingham, so we're really excited to play it and see how it goes.
So how many times have you played in Birmingham before?
I think we've done maybe, I'd say it's about our 4th gig, or we've done Sunflower Lounge twice. We did the Flapper, and then we did. Oh, it could be actually even more because we did with Amazons.
Oh yeah.
And then I think we might have done a Take Hendy's gig here, but that actually could have been in Bristol. I was confused too because of the beats.
Oh okay. Yeah.
So it's probably 5th or 6th.
Cool. And how has the rest of the tour been so far? Obviously, it's been like a lot in a short space of time. What's been your favourite gig?
I don't know. There's been it's only been I suppose 4 shows so far, but they've all been great.
Because you sold out Newcastle. Last night? Well, no, it was 2 nights.
That was 2 nights ago. Newcastle was wild. I mean, basically, it was on the 2nd level of a venue, or a 2nd level of this kind of pub.
Oh, okay.
And the bouncer kept having to interrupt the show to warn people to stop bouncing.
In Newcastle?
He was like, I love rock and roll music as much as the rest of you. But if you guys keep bouncing like that, you're gonna cave through the floor. And we were like, we used to have to stand on stage while he was warning people, and then it'd be like, okay, let's get back to the music.
Yeah. And that's how you know you put on a good show, isn't it?
Yeah. So it was eventually not like Paul, but they're like, no, we only got one more song. We're gonna only got one more song anyway, so we're there. There you go.
So with gigs like the ones you play at the moment, all in a short space of time, you've got to travel up and down the country in a very short space of time. So the question I was going to ask is, do you allow yourselves a little bit of a drink, or is it like straight to bed? But I saw on your Twitter last night that you were straight out in London to the pub. So is it like?
Yeah.
Is that every night? Because obviously when you don't have commitments all the time, you can obviously allow yourself to go out or whatever.
Yeah.
But in situations like this, I wonder, how do you go out and then still have the energy to play the next night? And is it what is the schedule after playing one place and having to play another night?
I kind of wonder as well, in the sense that, like I said, where the energy comes from, because we did European tour a while back where it was like, I think we were away for 51 days and we did 42 gigs, so it was a lot of gigs in space time.
Yeah.
And we were pretty much out every night because it was a different thing. We were going to different cities and different countries around Europe, so we wanted to kind of see the places and get out. But I think it's one of those things that all of us in the band and our crew, we like to have a good time.
Yeah.
And even if we were like, we'll take it easy tonight, it just kind of eventually spirals into 4 a.m. and everybody's bleary-eyed and just, it's a dingy pub somewhere. So, I don't know, it's not scheduled, but we just like having fun and having a good time, so.
Are you hungover today?
Pretty hungover, yeah.
What do you think? You've done it so many times before that you...
Yeah, I mean, we're pretty professional too, as in, we kind of know what the limits are and we don't take the piss with it.
Yeah.
We know how to enjoy ourselves and we know how to make sure that the next day we're able to do the shows as well as we possibly can.
Yeah.
So there's a good balance between fun and professionalism, I suppose.
Is that, when you first started a band, was that rock and roll lifestyle something you look forward to? Also, is it part of your Irish spirit?
I think it's probably a bit from column A, a bit from column B, we love, even if we were home, we weren't in a band, we'd still be the same people that we are and enjoy ourselves in the same way. So I wouldn't imagine that changed just because we're in a band. I think it's the kind of thing that being in a band means that it's almost more acceptable and it's more readily available that you can just go out every night and have fun in that way because it's what people expect. Yeah. So I guess that makes it a bit easier for us to
get away with it.
To get away with it, exactly. But yeah, I'm not sure if it was necessarily an influence in us wanting to be in a band. It was just more so a happy coincidence, I'd say.
Cool. So I've seen interviews with you before. I was researching and I saw one in the Netherlands, I think, from quite a while back. But you said that there the fans go absolutely crazy and it was better than Ireland in some respects. In England, how's the reception differ to everywhere else?
It's kind of funny because I suppose when I remember the interview you were talking about, and when I said that, I think we were kind of like at a point where we were still finding our feet in a lot of places, you know, and it was just so like when we initially come over to Holland on a few shows, we were so surprised how like nuts the crowd were because we never played there before, and like we get nuts crowds in Ireland anyway, but I think now we've sort of reached a nice point where a lot of places we go to, different countries, the crowds will just be kind of equally as wild. So like initially when we started in the UK, it was tough for us because people didn't know who we were, they didn't really give a shit. But now that we've played here a bit, we found that crowds just tend to be as wild as anywhere else. Like that Newcastle gig was just off the chain, you know.
So it's quite balanced.
Yeah, exactly. So it's been great because it just makes it that much more enjoyable when the crowd is just there and really responsive and just really up for it. So it's been great just to be able to play the last few gigs in the UK and have crowds going wild.
On to like the songs now. Obviously your album came out last year. I've read in interviews that I Know is your favourite song to play live, your favourite song in general, and that is obviously your most played song and most streamed song as well. So my question is, did you know that was going to be the hit as soon as you'd written it, or even like was there like a certain idea within that song, like you know the vocal melody or whatever, that made you think, okay, this is going to be a big one? And was it always your favourite from the start, or is it influenced by the crowds?
Yeah, I think for me it's a bit of a kind of outlier in that sense because the song doesn't really have a chorus, you know. It
drops back down to like the intro.
Yeah, exactly, and it just like even the kind of the part that you presume that the chorus would be, it's just like a kind of just a riff and then me like barking for a while. So it's not like a traditional sort of hitty song. But I just knew as soon as we did it, I was like, I really like the kind of attitude of this and the kind of spirit behind it. So I didn't know it was going to be our biggest hit or whatever. And initially I don't think we were even going to put it out as a single, but then we were just like, oh, we love this song so much, let's just share it with people. And people did really react to it, which I was actually surprised by. Because it's not our catchiest or hookiest song, but people I think just really love that sort of
punk sort of energy.
Yeah, exactly. So and that's been very gratifying for us because we really like that song and we're just happy that people are into it too.
And in the case of all the rest of the songs you've ever written, for example, how do you know when you've written a good song, and how do you know which ones aren't going to make the cut? Yeah,
it's a really difficult thing because you know, like I find anyway that my kind of harshest critic will be myself, but also I think when you're really intricately involved in creating something, it's easy to lose perspective, and you kind of sometimes lose the ability to objectively discern whether or not a song is good
because you do it so much.
Because you play so often, you're like, I know the song is catchy, and I know that it's a well-written song, but is it actually a good song? And it's a hard thing. It's a hard thing to do, and I think we're always learning how to maybe get better at it. But it's sometimes it's just impossible to predict exactly how good a song is. I know it sounds daft, but that's just the way I find it is sometimes. And it's also difficult to know what would be considered, say, a hit or a song that we think will do well. We just try and write whatever we can, and if it sounds good, it sounds good, and that will be, I suppose, the deciding factor whether or not it ends up in the album.
So my favourite song is AA, personally. That was the song I first heard. I think it was like August 2016, and it was on probably like Spotify Discover Weekly or something like that. And it was just the riff that stuck in my head. So now I've got this opportunity to like dig deep. I want to know, like, if you can remember it all. How was it written? Where was it written? When was it written? And what came first? Was it the riff that went up and down? It was
when we first wrote that song. Basically, myself and Dave, our bassist, we used to live in a house called the 201, which is name of the EP that AA was on, and that's where we did a lot of our early band rehearsals because we had there was this a kind of kitchen downstairs that nobody used because it was meant to be like divided sort of apartments within a house, but we got the entire house, so that's where we used to rehearse. And I remember Connor, our guitarist, he just started playing the riff and we kind of just started noodling over it.
Just off the bat, like.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and then I remember the verses initially were quite different, and I was going through my laptop the other day because trying to find demos for new songs, and I found a lot of the early demos for AA, recordings we made in our in the practice phase, and like the verse would be quite different, and obviously the lyrics would just be complete mumbo jumbo. But the chorus was always that was like one thing that was like one of the very first things that came and stuck, and I think we just developed it over the next kind of month or so, and yeah, I think that was one of those songs when we had it. We're like, okay, this is a kind of moment for the band.
It was a good rock song.
Yeah, exactly. And we hadn't really.
Basis.
Yeah, we hadn't really been doing much of that beforehand because our stuff beforehand was quite serious and intricate.
Yeah.
Whereas now we make really simple music.
Yeah.
So it was nice. It was a real kind of, I think, turning point, if anything, for the band.
And that solo in the song is I probably think the best bit of the song. Do you know who wrote that?
Yeah, I wrote it. Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Was that improvised or was it? Because I tell you what, it reminds me of like sort of American punk bands like Dinosaur Jr.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like that sort of scene, and it's quite an upbeat, major key sort of solo.
Definitely, yeah. It's very like kind of. Yeah, I always think it's like a really kind of bright sounding solo and actually I really like the recording of it because like sometimes when you're recording you'll do things that you don't say intend to do and when you listen back you're like, oh, that's really cool, but I don't know how to recreate it. And sometimes when I listen to AA for whatever reason, there's a part in it at the very end where it kind of the notes kind of clash together and make this really cool sound, but I don't think I can actually do it.
Yeah,
you know, it's just like
something happens on the day.
Yeah, like I don't know if it's the amp or like the recording or if I just like kind of flubbed it accidentally. But those things are really cool to preserve, I think, in the recordings as opposed to like, oh no, we have to get it perfect.
What is that? That's on the actual record?
Yeah. It's got that like kind of weird sort of. I don't know what it is, but yeah. Thank you for complimenting us.
Yeah, it's fine. And then next question, I want to like go into the history of the band a bit. You guys all met over like a long period of time. Like,
yeah.
You met someone when you were 12.
Yeah, Connor and David, they knew each other. They went to school together.
And you met in Canada or something? Like
yeah, well, myself and Dave, we met in college, and then so Dave and a lot of his friends from when he was younger went to live in Canada for a summer, and I joined them. And I met Connor as a result.
Okay.
I think we kind of know each other beforehand, but not really.
Yeah.
But obviously living together in the same house for kind of a period of 2 months was, that got us really so much friendly.
Yeah.
And then we just used to jam on our porch a lot.
Yeah.
And with acoustic guitars, we decided we should probably form a band and make a home.
Yeah.
Which we did, and then we found Rob on the internet.
Yeah, that's what I was going to talk about. Like, so you found him online, so my question was going to be, was it a bit like a Tinder date? Were you, as the rest of the band, or him, like nervous about meeting him, or did you think there might be a chance that you wouldn't get on, for example, or you were worried about, even if he was a good musician, you might not click first?
Yeah, I think definitely. I mean, because, well, luckily he was also the first drummer that we played with, so we didn't have to like go through audition or anything like that. But I remember Winnie was the guy who was in contact with him because they were on the same internet forum together, a forum called Mosh Space. But myself and Dave collected him in town and drove him to Winnie's house. So we didn't know at all, so it was just like all of us hanging out in the car.
All four of you?
The three of us on the way to Connor's house. So we didn't know each other at all. And I think we were listening to Silent Alarm by Block Party. And that got like the conversation going because he was a big Block Party fan too. And we just hit it off immediately, really, and it just it just kind of worked, which is great. There was no, a lot of bands go through member changes or things don't click between people, but we've had the same cast of characters for the entire album, which is cool. I think it's like a special thing for a band to have.
How long has that been now?
Since I'd say 2013 was probably when we that's probably when we first kind of met, maybe. So
that was more recent, but I want to talk about like your childhood a bit.
Right.
A long time ago, obviously, I assume you were playing music too. Did you come from a musical family? And when you started playing music yourself, was that sort of supported?
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I mean, like my there wouldn't have been many musicians in my family. I mean, my granddad was you know, a really prolific musician. But aside from that, there wouldn't have been a huge amount of musicians in my family.
Yeah.
So I was kind of an outlier in the sense of picking it up. But I don't know what kind of drove me to guitar in the first place. Well, I was about 16, and my parents wanted me a guitar because they saw that I had an interest in it, and were incredibly supportive of me, you know, learning and wanting to, you know, get new instruments, get my hands on them. And I just remember just sitting for hours in my living room, just like struggling away at like songs, trying to learn them. And it was a fun time. It's always cool to discover an instrument, I think. But
and then linking on to the whole family and like playing guitar at home thing, I had a question which was, have you ever been told off for playing too loud? Not necessarily by your family, but just by anyone in general. And what's your, because you're quite a loud band. Memories of being told off that, because I've had notes through my door because I've been playing the guitar too loud.
Oh really? Yeah, wow. Actually, I remember one time, it was actually as a band. So basically, we were playing in the place where we wrote in the 2-1. So we were playing in the basement, and ahead of a record label, an A&R guy from a record label had flown over from the UK to see us, and he just wanted to check out the rehearsal space and listen to new songs. But unfortunately, as we were doing that, our neighbour came over and was banging furiously on the window and basically saying, "My son has an exam tomorrow, shut the fuck up." we were like, "Oh no, we've rehearsed here for a year and a bit, never had any issues with the noise, and the one day that we have like a record label executive come over, he has lodged his complaint." But that's probably the only kind of real incident. I think the only other people who tell me to turn my amp down is just the other lads in the band.
Alright. So, when you're back at home in Ireland or just off the road, do you have anything that you miss when you're on tour that you look forward to when you go back home, or in general just a guilty pleasure?
I think first of all I should probably say my girlfriend, because if I don't say that and she watches this, she'll I don't know. I know it sounds stereotypical, but I like Guinness. And it's just not the same anywhere else around.
Really?
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. It just tastes really good around. So when I go home, I'll have a nice pint of Guinness. I know it sounds terrible.
No, that's perfect.
But I don't know. No, to be honest, I love being on tour and being on the road with the guys. It's like every time we go out, I remember like why I miss it so much. Which is really cool, because touring is like, it's definitely a slog, and it's actually a hard way of living, and I think a lot of people can't hack it. But we've been fortunate in the respect that all of us just love doing it. We love getting out and playing to people. So
being a rock star.
It kind of just like, it's just an unusual way of living, and it's really fun. So I don't tend to miss too many things. I just preoccupy myself and be like, this is fun.
So to round off the question part, I saw another interview in which you said that Rob hated Spoon. But when you play it, he always asks like who it is. And like for me, like I kind of resonated with that, because I used to, for some reason, I really didn't want to listen to the Arctic Monkeys. I don't think I liked the kind of personalities of the band, but I'd always find myself kind of going back to it because the songs were just kind of catchy, and now I'm like a massive fan.
Sure.
So I wondered if there's any bands or even songs that you didn't like in the first place but grew on you.
That I didn't like. Well, I think a big one is that I never really liked Hard to Explain by The Strokes. And it just never clicked with me for some reason, and I used to, anytime I listened to Is This It, I'd skip it. And then I don't know what it was that changed my mind, but I remember listening to it and being like, wait, hang on, this is the best song in this album. And
I
now
think it sounds better live, that song.
It's just some great performances. But now I think it's the best song on the album. I'm like, I don't know why I had some weird feeling against the song, but it's just an incredible song. So I think that song grew on me. I can't think of anything in particular, but it's funny that you mentioned Spoon because we were talking about that yesterday because Spoon were on in the band and Rob was like, who's this? And I was like, you always do this.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you this, but you're going to be like, oh, I hate them.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was, good time.
Yeah. So finally, to round it all off, I've got this little would you rather sort of question, these little questions about music and being in a rock band or whatever.
Sure.
Sort of would you rather sort of style. So the first one is sunglasses on stage. Do you like? Do you do that? Or do you disagree with it, especially in a dark room or like inside?
If I was inside, never. If I was outdoors, I think I've only ever played one gig with sunglasses on, and they were actually really inconvenient because I move a lot and they just came straight off.
Oh, okay.
So probably no. Even if the sun was high and in my eyes, I'd be like, nah, let's just go there.
Yeah. So MP3s or classic sort of CDs?
I think it depends on the situation for me. Like I use CDs a lot while I'm DJing, but I also use USBs as backup if I need them.
Yeah.
But I like having the physical thing. I don't use CDs that often, to be honest. Like I listen to Spotify mostly for listening to music, but I still keep all my old CDs. I like having that physical manifestation of the music. I suppose.
Third one, Nirvana or Pearl Jam?
Nirvana, 100%.
Yeah.
Pearl Jam.
Really?
yeah.
Why is that?
I don't know. Anytime I listen to them, it's maybe that would be a case of a song that grows me. But anytime, and lots of my friends are massive Pearl Jam fans, but it just never clicks with me.
Yeah. Crowd surfing or stage diving?
They both have their merits, I think.
Have you stage dived before?
Yeah. I think I'm better at crowd surfing though. Yeah. Or they tend to go hand in hand for me. I just stage diving in to see where we end up. Yeah. But I think I have more experience with crowd surfing, let's say.
Yeah. And then penultimately, touring or in the studio?
I think touring, I like them both, but I think touring's more fun.
Yeah.
Touring's a really, really cool thing to get to be able to. But being in studio is also an amazing thing also. But yeah, I'd say touring. And
finally, rest of the world or Ireland?
Ooh, patriotic pride at stake here. I'll have to say Ireland. No, I don't know. I couldn't possibly decide.
You're allowed to say Ireland.
Yeah, I don't know though. I love Ireland, but I just love being able to get out and see places too. So I don't know. I can't draw something in the middle, can I? There's no middle option.
I'll let you have it just because it's the last
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so that rounds it off. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you very much.
This is Luke Reilly, and I've been Joe. This has been The Indie Room, and I'll see you again soon. Cheers, thank you.
Thanks.
Sorted.
That was great.